Hey guys, it's Matt the Woodshed Barber, and today we're talking about the FX3 trimmer and shaver.
This is the barber shop, Cornerstone neighborhood.
So before I really even get started on the trimmer and shaver from Babyliss, the FX3, I do still want to go ahead and say the reason why I'm not including the clipper in this. I've done this long enough to know what I like and what I don't like. I've seen Babyliss try to do this non-lever adjustable clipper way before. I think it was called the Voltaire or something like that. I've seen Oster do the same thing. They had a small clipper with like a click wheel that adjusted the lengths. I know I don't like them, so this may seem unfair, but I'm just not even gonna give it a shot. It's not what I like, so why bother, right? I mean, that's another thing I would suggest to you guys is whenever it comes to learning what you like and don't like in the business, once you know, it's okay to stick with it. I mean, honestly, many barbers spend many years sticking with the same old tool, and that's because, for one thing, there's familiarity, and for two, it's the tool, and it's almost like it knows you. So whenever you know what you like, stick with it. Why not? So anyway, we're gonna be talking about the FX3 trimmer and shaver. I was gonna do two separate videos on this, but I just thought, they're both out same time. Why not go ahead and do it? Now I know that they came out last year with the glossy red. Well, for one thing, I just didn't like the way it looked. I know that seems stupid, but I didn't like it, so I didn't get it. But whenever I saw that they came out with the flat black versions, oh yeah, I'm in. The only thing about a lot of flat black surfaces, and this is what I experienced with that Andis GTX XO trimmer as well, is that flat black can sometimes not be very easy to grip. Some of these plastics, they seem to struggle with that. Usually with metals, not a problem. The flat black on my Boost FX, no problem at all. But for the plastics, those are problems. So both of these do have those little rubber grips on those. But anyway, let's go ahead and start off with our first category, and let's talk about power.
More power, Robert.
So the power of these things. So let's go ahead and start off and kick this off with the trimmer. The trimmer comes with a high efficiency, high torque brushless motor that produces 7,200 RPMs. It is super powerful, but here's the best part. Here's the best part.
I'm listening.
It's super quiet. I mean, it may sound loud to you guys because of this mic, but this thing is so quiet. Maybe it does have some decibels to it, but it's not a cringing, grumble. It's very light. I mean, like I said in the last video, like behind my back, you can hardly even hear it. So it is a fantastic, powerful clipper. I've not seen anything this thing can't mow through. I'd put it on par with the Low Pro FX. Some people may disagree with that and think that it's more powerful. I think this is just as powerful. It just depends on, I guess, how you decide to use it and how you have the blade adjusted. But the trimmer, plenty of power for the trimmer. I'd say for power, 9 out of 10. So this is what I would consider an overpowered shaver. Not that that's a bad thing. It comes with a high-speed rotary motor that produces 10,000 RPMs. So it's going. But what I do like about it is it's a consistent noise. It doesn't sound like a hedge trimmer. I mean, now granted, it's new, so it may change over time. I mean, oftentimes with shavers, people never even consider this, but if you have a shaver that's gotten way louder over time, just change the foil and the cutting blades. Just change them and see if that fixes it. I know that for the longest time, I used the Andis Pro Foil, and anytime it would start acting all loud and crazy, change the blades, change the foil, sounds almost brand new. But plenty of power for the shaver. It mowed through everything. I think it's a nice medium ground. It's not too aggressive, so plenty of power. Also, 9 out of 10. So let's get to the design on these things. The FX3 shaver, design-wise, it's not that different. It's a little bit more ergonomic. The thing I do like versus the FX, 2 shaver from Babyliss is that it's not metal. I don't need my shaver to feel heavy duty. I need it to feel light in the hand, just move easily around the head, boom, done. But the design is really nice. I do like the feature that, you know, you can turn it on and just put the cap on, it just automatically shuts off. That's a nice feature. I do like the side switch too versus the big old thumb lever that you see on the wall and the shavers. It's a great shaver. This is my first Babyliss shaver, so I'm not knocking the FX3 shaver. I'm just saying that I have handled one and they're heavy, and I just don't see a point for that. Honestly, when it comes to comfort in the hand, the shaver is not the biggest, most crucial thing for me. I'm not using a shaver on every haircut. I am using clippers and trimmers on every haircut, just about. So because of that, I think that this design is fantastic. Once again, the flat black, it looks great. It looks great. However, it is a little slippery, so I did throw one of these, you know, rubber gripping bands on there. So that's that for the shaver. Now the design on the trimmer. We all know these. The Anda Slimline Pro. LI, sorry. There was an Anda Slimline Pro that never gets any love before this that I think was a more premium trimmer.
Stay on target.
The Pro Slimline Pro LI, and still with the exception of Anda's kind of legacy tools like the T-Outliner, the Masters.
Stay on target.
I would say they're newer Hall of Fame. It's maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago as well. But I did that for a while. You know what? This isn't a review on these. I may do a history lesson on these sometime. Anyway, everybody knows that these are valuable because of the way that they feel. No other trimmer until recently, hint hint, has copied the way these feel until this one. Now you can tell, very similar build, slim, kind of a thicker part of the body up towards the head of the clipper, a tiny waist where the switch is, with a little bit of a fatter part down the bottom. Now, this right here takes its place, in my opinion, completely. For one thing, as we know, Babyliss blades are so easy to adjust. So you can easily back that cutting blade off, and it can be your long trimmer, because I like using a short trimmer and a long trimmer. It can be your long trimmer like what my Slimline was for me for the longest time. But also, just the feel in the hand, the way that it's so ergonomic to how you use it. Whenever you're punching in a line, see that little curve up right there? It makes it so easy just to put your thumb right there and just punch in a line. It's just, honestly, it may be the most ergonomic trimmer I've ever used. And that's with me already loving the Low Pro FX and how it feels. So design-wise, once again, knocked it out of the park. I love the 4 LED indicators on both of these that tells you how charged they are, how charged they're not. I just charged mine, so I mean they're 4 lights all the way. Everything about them is good, except for, once again, the flat black. Put another rubber grip on there, it's fine. It's light, it's comfortable. Design, gosh, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for the design. This is great. So let's get into the blade. Now the blade on these, now I'm not going to talk about the blade on these. The foil is fine, it's great, nothing to really, but I will say it does have, you know, gold titanium hypoallergenic foils, so there's that. And also, I forgot to mention this with the power, but 3 hours of runtime on this thing. Good luck getting rid of that. I mean, I don't spend forever on my shaver, so that's pretty good. 3 hours of runtime on that, and 4 hours of runtime on this. So once again, fantastic, you know, planning and design. But the blade that came on this one, now I know that the red one came with the gold titanium FX3 blade. This comes with the carbon titanium FX3 blade, and it feels like, from what I've gathered from other people, they have fixed that sharpness issue. However, whenever I first got it out of the box, you know, I always test everything on myself first. I went to line up the under part of my beard and it was biting. However, a quick adjustment and it's fine. I think it's a great blade. I have ordered the Filthy Blends mod so I can put a regular FX blade on it because I do love the gold FX blade. But I will say, I don't feel like you have to. If that was the first thing you did as soon as you got it, give it a shot. Give it at least the carbon titanium blade. Give that a shot. It's a fantastic blade, and once again, kind of like everything else from Babyliss when it comes to trimmers, it's just mowing through hair. Can leave a sharp line. They have perfected the trimmer, I dare say. But the blade on the trimmer, because of that, I would say is an 8 out of 10. For the shaver, it does what it's supposed to do. It's a 9 out of 10. It's easy.
Because the way that my bank account is set up, the thing is, I got a checking in the savings, but all my money is in the savings. I don't think my card is gonna go through.
So the FX3 shaver, I mean, I got mine for like $100 bucks. Easy to get it. Just, it's cheaper than the FX2 shaver. So for me, this was it was a good pick. So not bad on the cost of the shaver. The trimmer, since it just released, it was a little bit more. So it was, I think, 170, 165, something like that. Now, versus the Low Pro FX, if you would say which one to get, I would say get this one. I think this right here may be more versatile in the barbering world in the long run. So, and plus it just released. It's gonna drop in price. This at first was like, I think 170, now it's 149. This will probably eventually be 149. That's fine. But it's a very, very good, value to cost ratio.
What time is it? Game time. Boom.
Now, of course, as you always hear me say, all these little things are cool to hear about, but how do they perform? The shaver, no doubt, just did everything I needed it to do. It plowed through stubble. It just took care of it. But it also wasn't so overpowered that everything it touched just disappears. If you need to go, down the grain with the shaver to bump out, your shave line, it can do that fine. I found comfort on either way I used it. Double foil, single foil, flipped it over, whatever I did with it, I felt good with it. Performance, 9 out of 10. Now, the trimmer, performance-wise, the blade is a little fickle. Now, I said it was a great blade. Now, I stand by that. But at times, one of the edges would feel a little sharp. And I've had a couple people jerk away a little bit. So I've had to adjust it a couple times. Now, that could just be just the blade. Once I get the Filthy Blends mod, put it on there, it's probably going to feel great. But so only because of that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. But guys, seriously, if you loved the Slimline Pro, get this. This thing is amazing. It's the next step in evolution for that style of trimmer. So I'd say 8 out of 10 for performance. Now, overall score, my personal opinion, both of these are 9 out of 10s. I think you can't go wrong with them. I think that if you add them to your arsenal, you're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret buying them. You're not going to regret using them. I think your customers are going to like the comfort of sound and the way that they feel around their head. It's not going to be like that chainsaw I just got done reviewing. It's an overall good pick. So go out there, grab these, add them to your arsenal, and I dare say I don't think you're going to regret it. Just my guess. Once again, improvements. What could they improve? One thing that does, of course, bug all of us when it comes to Babyliss is I don't see the point of having so many different things that don't fit their other trimmers, their other clippers. I don't see why they don't realize the value of this thing right here and realize that they've already perfected the trimmer blade. The fact that I have to buy a mod to get that blade on here, it's a little ridiculous. I see what you're doing with this. It's a good thought, but at the same time, I just stick with it. Also, charging. Okay, soapbox time again. For one thing, we've got 2 new chargers, not just for both of them. They both have different charge things. I am refusing to call these cordless clippers. They're battery powered clippers. As long as I have to reach for a cord, it's not cordless. Please, Babyliss, obviously I like you. I obviously like you, but start including the charging docks. Come on. Anyway, what did they came with in the box? I mean, I didn't have to throw away guards on this thing. They didn't include guards. They came with charging cords and hanging straps. I mean, look, I hang both of them because they don't have docks. You can see the little wire brackets that they include for that. But straps? Is this a Nintendo Wii? What are we doing? Like hanging straps?
We talking about practice, man. What are we talking about?
Anyway, that's my only complaint from Babyliss still. Your tools are great. Consistency as far as what's needed for your tools, not so much. Performance-wise, yeah, consistency, performance-wise, knocking it out of the park. But come on, Babyliss, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it!
Anyway, off the soapbox. Well, probably not. I'm probably going to live on that soapbox forever until they get on board with it. But you know what? This is how we let people know what we like. We tell them. I believe that Babyliss and Stylecraft both are companies that listen to the barber community. So the louder we tell them what we like and what we don't like, maybe they'll start giving us that. So, I mean, I'm not saying write your congressman, but you know, tell them what you think. But anyway, guys, I think that these are two amazing tools. I know that they have made my cutting experience all the more fun. And try them out, see what you think. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please click that like button, subscribe, and I'll check you on the next one.